Lamont Green, and Coach, talk to me about what life was first like when you got here at South Miami.
A little rough, man. It was a little rough coming into a place that hasn't had a real football background for a long time. There's a lot of changes had to take place. Especially with coaching wise. You had to tell guys that we're probably going to move in a different direction. As far as getting the administration to try to support us with financially and things like that, which is hard in Dade County right now. It was a real struggle trying to get the kids to buy in to what we're trying to teach them over here, and that I wasn't just a crazy man who was here yelling and screaming, and that there was a purpose to there was a method to the madness that I was presenting to these guys. It turned out to be a positive situation at this point.
Well, you got 70 kids, you were telling me earlier, your first practice, but most of them didn't even know how to put pads on. And if somebody would have told you 9-2 right now, would you believe it?
If somebody would have told me 9-2 right now, I would have told them you are absolutely insane. But we had about 70 kids come out, 40 of which probably had never played football before. That was a struggle in itself. They didn't know how to put on pads, this, that, and the other. But we persevered, man. We kind of, some fell by the wayside, and the rest were still here. So, we're just grinding every day and trying to get better.
Now, you don't have any offensive linemen that weigh over 200 pounds. Explain to us what happened to you guys.
Second game of the season, we played Killian. We had already lost one offensive lineman the previous week in week 1. We ended up losing 5 more against Killian. At that point, our offensive line was depleted. So we had to, we couldn't cry about spilled milk. We couldn't forfeit the rest of the season, so we did the only thing we could do. We got some guys off defense and started turning them into offensive linemen, changing some of their jersey numbers, and we just got after it. We were not as big on the offensive line, but I think one thing it did help us with by putting those defensive linemen over there, we got a little bit more aggressive, and we had people that will come after you. As far as defensive guys are always more aggressive guys because they come after you. Offensive guys kind of just want to get their job done, and I think it gave us a little bit of a mental edge with putting those defensive guys up on the offensive line.
Coach, obviously a challenge again facing Columbus this week in the second round of playoffs. Talk about that challenge and talk about some of the kids that have really excelled for you this year.
Well, facing Columbus was the first time we played them. I wasn't present. I got ejected for equipment violation in the end of the Southwest game. So that 2 equipment violations by kids that didn't have on the right kind of equipment. So I was ejected for the next week, which was Columbus. But we went out. We played a great first half against them. But the second half, I think that we got worn down, and and the weight it changed a little bit. Me being the only defensive coach. One of my offensive coaches had to call the defense. We were in some bad situations, but I think with my presence, I think we'll do a little bit better this time. I think we'll do better. I think we'll give ourselves a chance to be in the game. If we're in the game at the end of it, you give yourself a chance to win. But if you're not in the game, when the crunch time comes, it's going to be the same result. So we just got to come. We got to be aggressive. We got to play hard. The one thing my kids have to their advantage now, they've played them one time already, and they had a good 2.5, 3 quarters against them, so they know now they shouldn't be scared. They know that we can compete with this team, but we have to stay the course. We can't have dumb penalties. We can't have, mishaps, mental breakdowns. And if we do that, we can keep the game close and try to stay into it a little bit.
And talk to me about some of your players, A.J. Leggett. Just talk about him, and you guys sort of have something in common that you both went through your senior year of high school.
Yeah, me and A.J., we're kind of just met him this year once he transferred over. But after we got to know each other a little bit, noticed that we're almost like the same guy. Just at a different age. We're both All-Americans, high school football players. We both had children, as high school seniors. So there's a lot of other things that we have to deal with, as far as outside of football. Most of our conversations taking place are just trying to stay focused when it's time for football and when it's time for schoolwork. And then, when we have the time to deal with everything else outside of that, we have to deal with it then. Not that our normal lives aren't important, but you can't juggle the two. If you're going to do this and concentrate on football, you have to block everything out and concentrate on football. When we go home and we're parents and things of that sort, then we can do that, but it's not going to mix, because when you go on the field and you got your kid on your mind, you got this on your mind, you're going to get hurt. You know, things are going to happen. So, you know, we're somewhat the same kind of guy, you know, except he went to 3-4 different schools, I only went to one. You know, besides that, it's cool, and he's a very down-to-earth kid, a great kid. He, you know, a lot of people get a lot of misconceptions about him, but before you say anything negative about, especially this kid, you need to spend some time around him, you know what I mean, and get to know him, because once that happens, you won't look at what your perception is. You won't look at it the same.
Coach, what have you enjoyed most about this season?
What I've enjoyed the most about this season, just to see a program that's been deficient for the last 3, 4, 5 years come out of the sewer, and just to see the excitement of people around the program, of people in the area, people that have went to South Miami previously. You know, it's very exciting to just be able to win and have people take pride back in their school, instead of just saying, "Nah, I don't go to the football games because we're not going to win anyway." You know, we've made a whole lot more money this year, the athletic department, than they've made in the past, because most of our games now have a lot of people in the stands. Before, they said you couldn't give away a ticket for somebody to come see it unless it was a parent. So I think that's the most gratifying part of it, just to resurrect something, to bring life back into a program, you know.